Good morning, everyone. It's Tess, and today I believe it's tip 296. And I thought I would start talking about like things holiday related. Those of us here in the U.S. are going to be in Thanksgiving next week. So I thought I'd look up articles on being conscious and making the most of like the holiday season. And I found an article in yogiapproved.com called 5 Simple Tips to Have a Healthy, Conscious Thanksgiving. And enjoy every second of it. So that's definitely one of those things we all want to do. And I figured that I'd just start touching on things like this just because it's a good reminder for me, and then I figured I'd just share it. And the more I say it, the more maybe my brain will absorb it and own it permanently. So the first thing that they are saying is that Thanksgiving for those of us in the U.S. is right upon us. Hi, Julie. Good to see you. It's right upon us, and we know there's going to be food, treats, and goodies everywhere. It's kind of funny because my employer just recently sent out, do you want to come in for a pig fest? And I'm like, nope, not interested. But just because the idea of a pig fest to me is so counterproductive to everything I've tried to do the past couple of years. So what I will say is that there are 5 pointers. Hello, hello. And a lot of these things we've heard before, but a gentle reminder as we get into this holiday season might just kind of help us latch on to something that will help us get through a little bit better than what maybe we have in the past, or just a reminder of things that we have forgotten. And one of the things that they always talk about, and I've heard this many times and I completely, totally agree with it, is don't fast in preparation. And that's true because if you're like famished and absolutely, I know people call it hangry and angry, hungry, and past the point of no return, you tend to make bad decisions and you almost tend to go really fast. So I agree with this number 1 pointer, do not fast in preparation. Hi, Jackie, good to see you. So number 1, don't fast in preparation for any activity that you have coming up. I know I make bad decisions when I try to fast because I end up so far down the road that I can't control myself. Saving up calories and all that, I know for some it works, but for me it really doesn't work. So knowing that, I'm not even going to attempt it. There is an article on here about intuitive eating, and I know I have purchased that book and I'll have to go back to it. We were doing a book club for a while on intuitive eating, so maybe that's something to connect to. But just briefly, what I've done in the past couple of years is I try to recognize when I eat certain foods how my body feels, and if it makes me feel sluggish or lethargic or unable to solve work problems, I know that's not a good food for me to have very much of. And I found that it's just helped me all the way around to keep my mind clear. And of course, the foods that I ate all pre-surgery are the things that did cause cloudy mind. After surgery, I actually found out I'm allergic to milk, and I drank so much of it before and was on allergy shots, I probably didn't even recognize that milk was the culprit. Because they say as adults, we all end up to a point where we are allergic to milk, most likely. And I was absolutely fighting that and didn't want to believe it. Now, number 2, they're talking about. So number 1, do not fast because you may be ravaged and you may make bad choices. Number 2, this is a good one too. Avoid grazing and excess. Both of those make you feel bad about yourself, and both of those will cause you to continue to do damage. And grazing is a bad one. It's almost like sit yourself where there's not something that you can grab next to you, because historically I've noticed that I can continue to grab because it's right next to me and I don't recognize that it's right next to me. So all of a sudden you go, how much of that did I eat? And it's already too late because it's already down in the tummy digesting. So you want to enjoy yourself, but try not to put yourself in too many situations where you lose control without even realizing you lost it. Number 3 kind of even relates to this. It says, make health conscious choices, or make choices. If you're going to eat that, at least make sure that it was a thought out choice instead of one that was an accident because you were distracted by a bowl that was sitting next to you on the table. Number 4 is practice self-care. I think this is critical. I am very big on that now, and I got very big on it this year when I started with the 5 a.m. Club, which is a Robin Sharma book. And it was about taking that first hour of every day to set the stage for how I feel. And for me, it's make the bed, brush my teeth, get ready. I go for a walk with my mom every morning. Sometimes I study and journal. I meditate without fail every single morning. but I just set the stage because meditating helps me to clear out the garbage, and then I go at it with a fresh perspective. Because if I come into the day going, hey, I want to have a happy day, a joyful day, I want ease and flow in my day, I want to be successful, I want my employer to be successful. If I come at it in a place of positive, it just helps me to remember. And if a day spins out of control, I will go back and grab that as an opportunity to kind of reground myself again so that I can approach it differently. And if there's somebody that's totally out of control, I've given myself permission now to gently disengage, because sometimes some of those conversations are not worth the frustration. So feeling balanced and less stressed will add tremendously to a healthy holiday season. Find your tools, whether it's journaling, whether it's meditation, whether it's stopping and saying some positive thoughts, that deep count, like counting to 10, up and down, just some way to kind of release any tension and anxiety. Very helpful. Number 5, recover responsibly. If you do overeat, soothe your stomach by sipping on ginger tea. You can do that by boiling some slices of fresh ginger root for 5 to 8 minutes with a little lemon and honey. For those of us in the tribe, I know Karen Scarpa did something on some ginger shots, so that might be something to check into. I might have to look into that too, because here in my state, we had Verner's. So Verner's was always something when you were sick that we drank. Now, for those of you outside of this area, you would know it as Canada Dry ginger ale, but we know Verner's. So depending on where you're at, just find the things to soothe your stomach. And I'm going to say recovering responsible also means soothing your mind. If you had a day where you went out of control, that's okay. You're human. Pick up the pieces and move forward. The sooner you pick it up, the better. Hello, I saw someone else on board, but I'm not sure who it is. So, oh, hi, John Clark. So just grab hold and recommit. I do a recommitment every day. I get on the scale every day. I do not own what the scale says. It's just a tool. But I find that I keep my window of opportunity to get out of control much smaller when I'm measuring something every single day. I have one calendar I write the steps on every single day because I'm always shooting for 10,000 a day. And on the other calendar, I'll just write some clue to myself of what the weight is so that I know that if I'm starting to look like I'm sliding up, what do I need to do? Am I off kilter on my water? Did I forget my salad? Did I get my smoothie? And once you get into habit, you'll find that your body feels better, healthier, and I'm better able to handle work problems when I'm feeling good about myself. So I'll go over those 5 tips again. We're getting into the season. This was from yogiapproved.com. Their 5 simple tips to conscious Thanksgiving. First one was don't fast in preparation. I completely agree with that. If I'm too far gone, if I haven't been on some kind of a regular schedule, I do tend to get out of control. Number 2 is avoid grazing in excess. I don't sit next to anything that I love because I still have a habit of grabbing it without even realizing I've grabbed it. And excess too. I kind of like that I've had the surgery because I do feel uncomfortable and I cannot stand that uncomfortable feeling. Make health conscious choices. And once you're so far out, and we all know that when we eat certain foods, we feel better. So kind of keep that in mind. Do you want to feel better and enjoy the company of the people you're with? Or do you want to eat something that your body really doesn't like, and then you're not going to be as friendly as you normally are? So they're going to go, oh, well, maybe that one's thinner, but she isn't very nice. And it isn't that you're not nice. It's just that you don't feel good because you didn't fuel properly. Number 4, practice self-care. I think meditation, journaling, make sure you get enough sleep. Do those things that will help you to feel good, and it gives you better skills when you're approached with something that might be difficult. And number 5 is recover responsibly. Forgive yourself if something goes astray and just get right back on it right away. The damage is much easier to manage if you catch it within a day or so than if you let a whole 3 months go past. I did also look up healthy Thanksgiving desserts, and I'm going to tell you, it's not even worth saving because I went through it and I'm like, I don't know if I would really eat much of any of these things that are on here. There's a few things like a baked apple with cinnamon on it, things like that. But most of what was in this list of 35, I'm like, probably not a good thing for me. So I guess I would stick with the basics. We know what foods make us feel good. If we stick to those foods, and stick to the tools that help us take care of self-care, and don't fast before a big event. I think those are really 3 fairly easy things to do that can help you move forward. So just take a couple of tips and make sure that you make these coming months feel good so that you feel better about yourself, because I think we tend to sabotage ourselves when we start to lose control and we feel bad about ourselves. So if we recognize that and grab on early, then we can avoid some of those stumbles later. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for listening, and we'll touch base again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.